You weren't Catholic, were you?
Yeah, I
You
was
grew up
Catholic.
You
Yeah,
ever
but
had
I
a priest go
dodged
for
the
it?
priests. Yeah.
I never had a priest really go for it, but I remember one time I was in confession, and it was right when we were all starting to whack off. So the priest, he like asked. I was in the middle of confession, and he was like, "Do you spill seed?" He said, "Do you spill seed?" And I thought it was like a biblical reference, like some type of proverb where like, you know? So I was like, yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I thought it was like a saying for sinning.
Right.
Like, I don't know, some story where the guy dropped seeds. And then I started to slowly realize that he was asking me about coming.
Oh, my God.
He wasn't, I don't know. That's a weird job. Being a priest asking fucking 8th graders if they're whacking off.
It's not appropriate. And it's also the problem with
Also, the
any
answer is
job
yes.
where you have to be celibate.
Yeah.
Any job where you have to be celibate. Like, who's
Yeah.
going to sign up for that? Here's the thing. It's not like they get better seats in heaven.
No.
Like, why are you doing that? Like, you're doing that because you're called to that duty?
A good priest, that is cool. I do think that is cool.
A good priest is cool, but the idea that they should be celibate, you're going to eliminate a lot of people that don't want that job.
The dudes that are like, fuck it, I'll just be a priest. Like, if you're like thinking about what job you want to have, and you're like, I'll just fucking just be a priest.
Well, some people do that because they're raised Catholic, and they're like, look, if I do it, I'm 100% guaranteed in. You know, all you have to do is like
you gotta go to school.
You don't have to go to school. You're in there.
Yeah.
You're a priest now.
You gotta go to seminary for fucking 7 years.
And people treat you well if you're a
Yeah.
priest.
Yeah.
It's a respected part of the community.
It's funny how much they're kind of. Oh, dude, my friend Matt, you met Matt McCusker. We were laughing so hard about like priest. You got a fucking pretty easy job. You're set up. You live next to the church. You go do this, but then every once in a while you got to get hit with a dude at confession. That's just like, I sucked my friend's dick at golf. You're like, what? Like, dude's hitting you with confessions, and then you look out and see him in church. Like while you're performing mass, you look out. There's a guy like, you see. You're like, oh, that's a guy who blows his friends. You know the whole congregation's secrets.
That was a thing that they invented purely so that they could like spy on
blackmail?
people. They not blackmail. They wanted to know who was doing what. And if you could
like,
give people an
won't
out
tell.
that allows you to go to heaven, but you have to tell.
You got to
if
tell
you
on
tell
yourself.
us, yeah. But then I'll tell you, you're going to do a bunch of Hail Marys, and it's going to be good. You're still going to go to heaven. Like a completely human-created loophole, just to acquire data. That's what it is.
Yeah, it was pre-Google.
Yeah, they were just acquiring data on the people.
It's fucked up. I just had a revelation. I think I tell on myself.
Do you?
Yeah, I was raised Catholic my whole life. I constantly tell. When I was a kid, I would tell on myself.
Yeah, it's probably.
I still tell on myself.
It's built into the system. I felt like when I was a young kid, I remember I went to Catholic school for 1 year, and I had this nun that was teaching the class. I didn't have a priest. We had a nun, and her name was Sister Mary Josephine, and she was so
It was always
mean.
Yeah, we had Sister Michael Ann. They all had wild names.
She was
dude.
so mean, dude. She was so mean. She would tell you that she's going to make you sit on a nail in the closet, and you better bring your pajamas because you're staying here tonight. And kids would cry.
Yeah,
would cry.
fuck
We'd
you
be
up.
so scared because I went from being with my mom, who's like this sweet lady. This is the lady that I'm used to.
Yeah.
My mom's nice to me. She
Yeah,
loves
she's a
me.
nasty
So all of a
lady.
sudden, this crazy
The
bitch
fucking
that doesn't even
mustache.
get to fuck.
Yeah.
You're dressed in this weird costume, and she was so mean. And what it did to me at an early age was like, oh, okay, that's bullshit. Because, like, you know, you have to see things and that are so stunningly obvious that
Yeah.
this had nothing to do with God. This is like a mean
this
person
is a crazy
who's just
person.
torturing kids. And since I hadn't been around that,
Yeah.
it was very unusual for me. And I was like, oh, this is all horseshit. And then I think there was a period after that where I was fucking kind of really weirded out. Because then I was thinking, well, if this is bullshit, does this mean that, like, nobody knows? Nobody knows?
Yeah.
Do you remember that for the first time you realized that nobody knows what happens when you die?
I can,
there wasn't
I can tell
really-
you exactly when it was. It was 6th grade.
Really?
Maybe 5th. We were exactly, and then I get it wrong. We were at my friend's. We had like built a fort at my friend's house. We were all back there, and we were like, I don't know if God's real. And everyone at the same time was like, yeah, dude, I know. We're not allowed to talk about it. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have a religious family, you're not allowed to talk about it. People get very upset if you even just want to breach the subject.
I think, I mean, I was, if I told my dad, I mean, hearing a fifth grader say, I don't know if God's real, that would fuck you up. My dad's just drinking, watching sports. Like, yeah,
Kids
dude.
do worry about that, man. You know, when I was younger, I used to really think that religion is just a panacea for the masses, and it's not necessary, and it's really outdated, and, you know, you should know better than to believe that. But as I've gotten older, I realized that it acts as like a scaffolding for behavior.
Yeah, of course.
And it also gives people a sense of being, of like being a part of something that means something to them. That to say that that's not valuable is crazy.
That's what's cool if you talk to like a good priest.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to a good one, they'll tell you that. They'll go, yeah, no one knows. But it's good.
And a good philosopher will say the same thing. That's why I always question people that say that they know what's going to happen when they die. There'll be just blankness. People love to say that. It's a very common thing, right?
Yeah.
People love to say that when it's over, you just die and that you go black. But we don't know that. We don't know that. This whole thing is weird enough that I think we should entertain every possibility.